What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Client Blog. Come on in, drop a like, drop your city and state. This is going to be a good one. We're going to talk about the 2020 recession, and technically we don't know the exact date of the recession, and there's some definitions we want to definitely go over, but we want to be proactive, not reactive. Now, listen, some of you came on here to listen about some cold hard cash. Of course, this is not the real monies. This is play money. But for some of you, the way you play your money anyway, that's what you got. So come on in, drop a like and drop a comment. We got Raleigh in the building, NYC coming through. Come on through. We're going to talk about it. We're going to make it good to do tonight, all right? So listen, some of you are going to see this video and say, what recession? Yes, we know those folks. They never going to see a recession. That's fine. And we have some people who are already experiencing a crunch. I got you. Now we're going to talk about what to do if you got $1,000 to $2,000 and what to do if you got $20,000 to $100,000, because there are two different positions, but depending on what you do with it, you might be in the same spot. All right, so we got Los Angeles, Seattle. Y'all like my play money? Alabama, Lexington, Kentucky in the house. Who else? Who else we got up in the house tonight? Right? Kansas City, Detroit. All right. So listen, you guys, are you noticing in your marketplaces changes in businesses and storefronts? That's right. Making it rain in here. We in here. Douglasville, Georgia, Tallahassee, Florida in the building. Play money, not real money. Making it rain. Belize, Northern Virginia, Los Angeles. Listen, come through. Uh-oh, my money got stuck. Los Angeles, Chicago. Listen, Chicago's got a lot of crazy news going on in it. Kissimmee, Florida. Oh no, our money got stuck. Oh, Columbus, Ohio. Come through, hit the like button. Goes to Amazon. Hey, go. I got this for my little nephews. My little 4-year-old nephew. So I'm making it rain in my own life. That's it. We're out of money. Now, many of you coming here, a bunch of empty storefronts here in NYC. Exactly. What are you seeing? See, what people don't want to address is, Erica, there's no recession. What are you talking about? Now, listen, these things are cyclical. They happen all the time, but we also got to be truthful. People are not stacking themselves foundationally where they need to be. What is foundationally? They're not owning the locations they have stores in. They're not running ads. They're not doing it right. They're not doing it right. I just saw a CNBC article earlier that was like, people are raiding their retirement accounts. Now, why shouldn't you raid your retirement account, folks? Why shouldn't we do that? We need this money. Brick and mortar actually isn't going technically in stink. Now, here's why. Online shopping is only 10% of all sales that happens in America. The rest are 90% brick and mortar. If you want to run to Walgreens, if you want to run to CVS, if you need rubbing alcohol right now and you can't wait to shop online for it to come to your house, trust, there is going to still be corner stores all over America. You're still going to need stores. And even more so in smaller towns, you're still going to have stores. You have a lot of empty storefronts, but you're still going to have stores. Why? Because there's things you need right now. JG Wentworth, right now. You're not going to wait for 2-day shipping or 1-day shipping. You're going to need it right now. So I'm talking to you who are business owners. What can you do about that? Because right now I can show you a million articles where people go from Nashville to towns an hour outside of Nashville, buy a little storefront, call themselves revitalizing, because guess what? All these people are moving out to these places, right? They're moving out to these places because they need cheaper rent, and then they're still wanting to connect with other people while they're in the smaller, cheaper town. There's a whole book called Frugal Woods. Go look it up. Frugal Woods. It talks about how people were moving from big cities to smaller towns, cheaper housing, and that's why letting their wife stay home. Now everybody's fighting me on like, oh, times are tough, 50-50, we need everybody to work. There you go. Exactly, Moham. Stay-at-home moms went up 13% in the last 10 years. Now, the first thing people said to me was, Erica, is that single moms or is that married moms? I said, listen, Stay-at-home moms went up 13% in the past 10 years because daycare costs don't make sense. Money. Daycare costs don't make any sense. Now, he brought up a fun fact. That's because 45% of the nation is still without internet access. Even the people who have internet access are struggling to basically work computers, period. I get emails all the time like, I don't know how to log in. I'll be like, hit the forgot your password button. Oh, never did that before. I mean, it happens all the time. So the key about that is CenturyLink. People talk really crap about CenturyLink. You know, it's got a great dividend. It's a dividend stock, but they're like, oh, it's a terrible company. And my thing is, it's not a terrible company. It services people in rural areas who don't have internet. Yes, we have some mountain water here today. All right, make sure y'all hitting that like button. 90 of y'all in here, like 20 likes. All right, so you know, G. Blair, I'm not even gonna read that. You inappropriate. That's right, Muhammad. All right, Muhammad's actually a really popular name in America. So is Jeshua and Josiah. Oh, my friend told me he was 2 hours outside of Raleigh yesterday, and it was like going back in time. No internets, no jobs, rural America. Exactly. So if you go, I'm from North Carolina. If you go, there is a road, the 40, and you drive it to go to Asheville. There are towns as you go through. All the restaurants are along the highway, like the Bojangles, the KFC, the Popeyes, the everything. And you like, just another town you're driving through. But when you go into the restaurants to get some food, everybody behind the counter is 35 plus years old, right? KFC, there's some Mennonites when you go 2 hours left of Raleigh. You go in the restaurant, the girl's got a little cap on the back of her head, dressed to the floor, flat shoes, long sleeve shirt, Mennonites, right? They got the wives working because they need the monies. Now, there's parts of North Carolina you can go have $500 rent. And you can have internet now. You can have satellite. But those people, what you have to understand is, if you got a paid off house and you're just paying property taxes, which my mom has a house on the lake with 2-car garage, huge house, she barely pays $1,000 a year. Anywhere else, that same house on a lake would be $3, $4, $5 grand, right? So there's parts of North Carolina you'll go to that you'll like, what is happening out here? And a lot of men are truck drivers in North Carolina for that reason. But you also have a ton of tech, a ton of technology companies moving to those parts, and manufacturing still in some parts struggling, mostly with Hispanic workers. But now let's get on. I think there's about 100 of y'all in here, good to go. Now, we're going to start on the board. The board of truth and justice here. All right, so we got 1,200 or 20K. Now we're going to start with most folks because let's do the math. 20% of all Americans couldn't come up with $1,000 if they had to. I think it's 50% of all Americans couldn't come up, or 70% couldn't come up with $400 in an emergency. Then you also have 76% of people living paycheck to paycheck. You also have 75 million Americans making $30,000 a year. So we're going to start here on this side. For those of you like, Erica, can I get payment plans? I understand. Times is tight. I get it. So $1,000 to $2,000. I'm going to start here with being proactive. What are some simple techniques in the being proactive? Paying off debt that's over 7% interest. There are people who call me and their car is 17% interest. Their car, 17% interest. I have people call me and tell me that they have houses at 9% interest. Whew, y'all. There's a reason I talk about business, I talk about tax liens, and I talk about investing so that you get a 16% solution, 16% returns on your money. Because if you have debt, credit cards at 29%, cars at 17%, houses at 9% interest, you need high returns on your money. So first things first, being proactive, you can pay off your debt. Next level, you know, the Dave Ramsey snowball, but you know, we can go there. 3 to 6 months, fun. Now everybody says 3 to 6 months, but let me be really active. Let me be really truthful. 20K, anything under 20K in your savings is an emergency. If you have children, you have a house, you have a medical emergency, your husband or wife has a heart attack, $20K is gone. Now, most insurance make you do a deductible about $5,000, but I'm just telling you, anything under that, just saying. So, folks on the East Coast and West Coast are the loudest, but not the majority of people in the country. Lots of folks don't have internet. These are facts. These are facts. Amish country too. Amish country has a lot of internets out here. Invest in senior living REITs. If 45% of the country doesn't have internet, it's going to take a long time to fully integrate 5G. Jay Green, and we're not. We're never going to get... See, this is the problem. What people don't understand is you can go to parts of Mississippi right now and drive for miles before you see another person. Only way they're going to get internet out there is if they have satellite. That's it. They're not going to be able to integrate lots of parts. CenturyLink gets all this flack because they use a lot of Chinese parts, and they service a ton of Alabama, Georgia, parts of Tennessee, parts of Florida that are very rural. If you ask me what is going to be a big job or business grower in the next couple of years, it's going to be getting internet to places that like that. You can see the signs where it's like, do you want to be a cable installer or internet provider, rural internet provider? Look it up. Trust me, you're going to see a big push for jobs in that market because Apple and Google want to get out there. Skynet wants to get out there bad. Okay. Right. So how do they get out there? They, make these jobs, all this stuff. There's a ton of stuff we can go through for that. But listen, that's why I say 20K. 20K is enough moving money. I've seen people move here to Austin, Texas with the U-Haul, the car on the back, and $3,000. And the apartment complex needed $4,000 for them to move in with the pet, the dog, the kids. And the husband and wife looked at each other and said, we're just going to go to a hotel for 2 weeks until we get more money. Literally. So I've seen people move here with the shirt on their back. I've seen people get off the bus. I've seen people move here crazy dire straits. Can you do it? Yes, but you're going to take many years to get yourself stable. So it's better to save up close to 20K. Anything less, it's just an emergency waiting to happen. All right, so the proactive side, businesses, higher paying jobs, associations, networking, conferences, tribe building. Why am I talking about this? I can go right now on Facebook and go in certain salesman groups, certain insurance company groups, certain real estate wholesaling groups, and there'll be people in there like, hey, anybody want to come to this state and work with me? Anybody want to work online? There's jobs, there's conversation, there's a lot of back and forth, and there's a lot of silliness. Let's not get it twisted. Some of these Facebook groups stay on the silly, but a lot of them are helping each other move up jobs, move up careers, all kind of stuff, right? Team up and partner builderships, kind of thing. And that comes from networking and associations. Conferences, when people spend money to be at a conference, like most of the times you'll go there and their company paid for them to be there. But if they paid for themselves to be there, get their information, connect with them on LinkedIn. That is a person who's trying to grow or trying to build their network or trying to build their business. That's the kind of person you want to connect with. I tell people all the time, when I hang out here in Austin, I try to hang out in certain areas where I know a lot of tech people will be, because you'll talk to people who are townies and they'll be like, yeah, I'm tired of all these people here in Austin making all this money and doing all this stuff. You'll talk to some of them. They've been here 5 generations, don't own any land, don't own any property. And I told people on Instagram earlier, I bought a piece of property for $6,000 in Bastrop, a piece of property in Gerald for $6,000. Both places have very cheap land. You can go look this up for yourself. They got cheap land. Now, are they out there? Oh, they're out there. But people are moving out there just for cheap rent. I ended up talking to some guy who was in a duplex, and I was asking him about the area, the neighborhood. You got that neighborhood watch guy being nosy, like, hey, what you doing over here? I'm like, oh, I'm just checking out this property to buy, to rent out, right? So then he's just giving me all the business. And he's like, oh, I've been in this duplex for 10 years from New York. Everybody's friendly, everybody talks with each other. And you know what he had on? Timberland boots. And he was like white Hispanic. It was funny. But he was from New York and he was talking to me, but he was so excited that when he first moved there, rent was $500. He thought he was waiting for drugs and crackheads and stuff. He was telling me these funny stories. He was like looking for meth heads all the time. He was like, this rent too good. He was telling all his New York family, the rent is so cheap, right? And so More of his family came down, and they live on the outskirts. Now, you would think being from New York, they want to come in to the city, be in the city. But they were so enamored by the cheap rent and the spacious backyard. He's like, my dogs have a backyard. But he's been there 10 years, y'all. When people move, they get comfortable and they don't want to move again. Can you imagine someone moving from New York City to Gerald, Texas? 30 minutes outside of Austin. It's like 20 minutes outside of Georgetown and Round Rock, but it's like out there. And, you know, even from where I live, and I'm in North Austin, it's a solid 35 minutes, okay? So, but he was saying something about he had friends in the military. So it's a halfway mark. It's less than a halfway mark to Killeen. So, you know, if you're a military person, get out of the military, you could live in Gerald or you could live in Georgetown and it would make sense. So that's happening where people will live somewhere for a long time and will not move, right? So when you talk about these towns that aren't thriving, people don't care. They're going to stay there because it's cheap. The rent's cheap. There's a lot of places in the Carolinas and also in Georgia, I know, where people are staying because it's cheap rent. So again, tribe building. What is tribe building? For those of you who are joining the YouTube course, we're going to talk a lot about tribe building and what's a tribe. Like, you guys are the classy climbers, right? But there's certain people who are manosphere people. There are people who are BGS Ignore people. There are people who are Gary Vee, you know, Grant Cardone, 10X, right? And what happens is within that tribe, you all believe a certain thing, right? So even if, you know, some people are like, this is crazy talk. If they're in the tribe, they usually believe it to some degree, right? And so the tribe building will help you be proactive in whatever is that career. If your career is sales, I've seen sales guy go from one job to another without a hiccup. I've seen sales job go from cell phones to insurance to something else. And you're like, damn, you always quitting jobs. But it's because he keeps the network fluffed. He can bounce. It doesn't matter. He can take his skills and go somewhere else. Okay. That's the importance of building a tribe. That's important of networking. Higher paying jobs. Again, I keep telling y'all, there's going to be levels to this. Number one is going to be the frugal woods, is what I'm going to call it. It's where people just go, I'm out, small town, small living, downgrade, reduction of everything, conserve. Oh, we got to conserve, right? We'll live way out here in the boonies. You know, my wife can stay home because it's so cheap. I'll be driving in traffic for 40 minutes every day both ways, but it's because we live out here. She can stay home. I promise you. I can drive around Round Rock, Texas right now in Gerald and show you where there's just a bevy of women staying home because they live so far out and their husband's willing to drive into town 40 minutes every day. 40 minutes coming, 40 minutes going, okay? That's almost an hour. For me, I just can't do it. So, but there's a lot of jobs in Austin starting to offer more remote time. So people are going to do it. Now, business. I know you guys are like, oh, Erica, you don't break about business. I have to. Because it's a part of the layers. You got the frugal woods, you got the people that are just gonna stay squeezed close to the city. Then you got the third people who are gonna have higher jobs, higher pay, living in the city, enjoying life, eating dinner, going to the movies, going to the bars, the happy hours, and be like, what's the problem? Why are people complaining? They should make more. I literally have friends, when I tell them that the average income is $30,000 a year in the United States, their mouth drops open. They're like, how do they live? Again, you got people who husband and wife are making $150,000, $180,000, and they can't fathom how someone is living on $30,000 a year. They can't fathom it. It makes no sense to them. That is the higher paying job, folks. And they'll be in the city and they'll be living and they'll complain about taxes and complain about schools and property taxes, but they have no concept of, you make $30,000 a year, how do you live? Right? They can't even fathom it. It doesn't make sense to them. All right, so then the business folks, again, I was talking with someone who lived in Venezuela, and he was in Atlanta, Georgia. He was my Uber driver from the airport away downtown during 5 o'clock traffic. And he gave me a whole story full, and he was saying how his father owned a business, and even though Venezuela was going through all this craziness, every time stuff went crazy, they just raised the prices. He's like, his dad owns 2 box trucks, and they deliver for the government to do something. He was giving this long, drawn out thing. But he was saying how it's because his father had a business, his father had enough money to send him to America. Okay, peep that part. They had enough money. They're like, you're an engineer. If you could just get to America and make engineer money, you can send us back so much money. Right? So the family, only reason the family was able to send him safely, like, let's be truthful, old boy flew into Atlanta. He didn't run across the border. He flew into Atlanta and just didn't return on his visa. Okay. You dig what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? Okay. You dig what I'm saying? You follow? Okay. And so now he's here in America. And I said, well, what's the holdup? Why are you an engineer? He's like, I can't pass the English parts of the test. I said, well, how do your family, they sent you here? He said, I just send money back every week. I send money to Colombia. He's from Venezuela, but he sends it to Colombia because his sister lives closest to the border. She goes over the border, goes to the Western Union and the Colombia thing. It's not technically Western Union, it's something else. But anyway, she goes and gets the money, buys all the stuff, comes back across the border, delivers it to the family and herself. And he's Ubering and also working construction while studying to pass English tests. Y'all, these people are coming here to America. And so when you're talking to somebody who is in America and they know all I got to do is make enough $400 or $500 to send home. And he told me chicken used to be 50 cents. You get a whole chicken for 50 cents. He said, now it's $5. Well, who's eating chicken? Chicken's $5. And even if you go across the border, it's $5 because Colombia knows people are going to come across the border to buy their food. They raise the prices. Who's buying chicken? Business owners, people who send money back to Venezuela. Okay? So, yeah, he told me about how his family lost a lot of weight. Everybody's like super losing weight. And he took a picture of himself and sent it to them. And they're like, you're in America getting fat. And we're all losing weight. Study for your fucking test. Excuse my language. So, again, that's being proactive. That's the proactive side. What is the reactive side? Right? Because you're saying, Eric, I only got $1,000. What am I gonna do? I got $1,000. $1,000. If you got $1,000, $2,000, your best bet is getting a higher paying job, getting on LinkedIn, getting you some certifications, get a higher paying job, or start a business. And again, I talk about YouTube all the time, but there's a lot of little service businesses you can start. All it is getting leads in, servicing people, returning phone calls. You guys are overcomplicating it. But that's what you do if you have 1,000. Now, on the flip side, what's going to happen for people if you got 1,000? This is the bad that's going to happen, but you're going to, for those of you with some more money, we're going to benefit. All right. So the bad is reactive, panic selling. People are going to be panicking. They're going to sell homes. They're going to sell cars. I remember last time recession, people were selling boats, and if the boat didn't sell fast enough, they were drilling holes in the boats in South Carolina to let them sink to the bottom of the water to get an insurance check to clear them of the debt. Real story, y'all. They were drilling holes in boats. The National Guard, what do you call them when they're on the sea? The Coast Guard was like, please stop. This is ruining the ocean. We have to tow these things. We have to get these things out. We have to do all this work. Stop. We know you're doing it on purpose. Panic selling. People will sell cars for pennies on a dollar. I remember last time in the recession, you could get cars for $2, $3, $4, $5 grand. That before were 8, 10, 11. Now they're 2, 4, 3, 4, 5. Right? We see it every year. We see this every year, panic selling. Every time we go on Craigslist, January to April, what happens? All the cars are $2,000 to $5,000. Now, you ask Hector how much that car was in October, it was $500. He was ready to get rid of it. He'd take $1,000 and keep it moving. Right now in Cleveland, Cousin Nita has a truck that she purchased for $1,000. I got inside of it thinking it's going to be dirty. It was clean. It was nice. It was well maintained. In a regular time period, in a regular state, not Cleveland, Ohio, that truck would have been going for $5 to $7 grand down here in Austin, Texas. Okay? Panic selling. What also happens in the recession? Panic selling. If somebody's got acres they ain't using, land they ain't using, grandma's house they ain't using, cousin's house they ain't using, inherited homes they don't care about, selling. Right now in Mississippi, the number one landowners in Mississippi are Chicago residents. 90% of the black people you see in Chicago came out of Mississippi. They went straight up and got the bank out of Dodge. And then the next place for Mississippi folks is Memphis. So when you talk about what happens in a recession, I don't think some of these people are going to come back to Memphis. They're going to Mississippi. They're going to sell. They're going to be like, you can have it. I don't care. I ain't coming back down there. I ain't been back in all these years. Well, I'm coming back now. Downsizing. You will see people downsizing. You will see people sell. Right now, prime example, there's a neighborhood I was looking at with a friend, and we were looking at the houses, and we're like, the neighborhood's nice, but it's got too many cars. What does that mean? You got a lot of roommate situations over there. We saw 3, 4, 5 cars at every house, and we're like, the street is completely packed. It's unreal. And those houses were $250,000. So these aren't cheap houses. And those people are in roommate situations. So I say, well, what's the next neighborhood we got to go up to get more space and less roommate people over here? And the next set of houses I looked at were like $400,000. They still had a lot of cars over there. These aren't people's extra cars. These aren't teenagers' cars. These are roommates' house hacking cars, grown adults' cars, people sharing no space cars, okay? Now, so when they downsize, okay, what's going to happen in downsizing is they're willing to sell their house in California to come out here to Texas. They're willing to sell their house in California to go to Idaho, and Idaho is like, please stop coming. Google this. Idaho is literally saying, please stop coming. Google it. I don't have to make this up. This is a real thing. Another thing is wholesaling. When people talk about why are they making laws in Chicago and Virginia against wholesaling, it's because it's going to go through the roof. People are going to want to sell, panic sale. People are going to be willing to sell their home for pennies on the dollar. And wholesalers who, let's just be honest, aren't in a giant association, don't have Congress pushing, to protect them, are going to be people hit. Now, I know a guy right now who we buy homes from in Detroit. His name is Ken. I ain't giving the rest of his name, his business. He's in Florida. He's never set foot in Detroit. He literally has an automatic business that all he does is send out emails and letters and cold calls with his VAs and his staff to all over Detroit, and makes over $200,000 a freaking month. Okay? It's that serious. Like, that much business is going on in other cities where he's not even there. So do you think they want do you think real estate agents and hotels and lobbyists want wholesalers who aren't paying any money to any of them, sprinkling the money around, making a killing of money? No way. Right now, I'm for those of you in the YouTube course, you'll see it, like where I literally could purchase someone's wholesaling business, run their ads, have their door drivers, the people that drive for dollars, have their VAs and everything. Person just made so much money they went and started buying apartments. Peace out wholesaling, right? And you would think, keep this business, keep it forever. You make a certain amount of money, you want to get rid of stuff. It happens. All right, so again, land, businesses. It won't just be wholesaling of houses and land. It'll also be businesses. When I tell you to go on BizQuest, buy, sell biz, or someone type it into the conversation. I'm always saying those two, BizQuest and buy, sell biz. You see people who are in their 60s, they're just tired. Their backs are tired. Their bodies are tired. They don't want to do it anymore. They're going to sell those businesses to someone younger who wants to be there. And honestly, when you see some of these storefronts that are empty, it's the combination of the rent went up and they're not doing enough advertising. Point blank period. Advertising all day long. That's why there's a lot of people teaching you about SEO tactics. And if you can get leads for their business, they'll be willing to pay you. Because people are pretty loyal. Like if you go to a particular dentist and you like that dentist, you will keep going back to that dentist. If you like a particular doctor, you will keep going back to that doctor. So doctors, dentists, and lawyers all know that. So when someone comes and says, hey, I ran a bunch of ads and I've got leads for your business, they want those leads because guess what? They know people don't like change. People don't like change. Okay? So these things will be on sale. This will be people will be panicky, want to sell, but that puts you in a great position. If you're someone who has $1,000, $2,000, you can start your business now. 2-3 years out, even if the recession starts 4 years from now. Now you're the only business still standing 4 years later, and you're going to the bank, you're getting funding, you're years out, okay? Let me see some of your comments in here. I hope y'all understood that. Banking in Charlotte, Group homes are big business. G. Blair, group homes, our family had group homes in North Carolina. They took the group homes from us. They took them from us because it was more money the state could make than us having them. Money. Even though many documentations and surveys prove that the kids being in the group home with small families like ours, and they weren't living with us, they were in an actual house with just workers, but we would make them go to church, we make them have summer vacation, we make sure they played football so we could make sure that they got to practice on time, that kind of stuff. Those kids got more individualized attention than a juvenile center kind of place they were putting them in. So yeah, group homes will make money. Group homes for the elderly will make money. Group homes for young children. You have a lot of people orphaning their children. There was a girl on Instagram that went viral and they shamed her. She was taking her little 3-year-old black boy, little light-skinned, cute, good-looking kid, to group home, to foster care. And she was documenting it on Instagram. Like, y'all, I just can't take care of him no more. I'm taking him here. And I'm like, no shame in her game. And again, for those of you who are adopting children, or you go to a church like mine that adopts children, if you want to adopt a child in about 2-3 years, they're going to be children everywhere. If you look back in London's history and Europe's history and some parts of India, especially India's bad, you just had kids running around. They were orphans. Parents just let go of them. Those are drastic, real depression times. We're talking about people being upset because they can't get a brand new car times. We got people mad because they ain't got internet. I remember my friend moved back home to North Carolina and her parents didn't have internet. She was like, this is poverty. And we're all like, girl, it ain't that bad. Shit, it's just not. You have your cell phone. Your cell phone has internet. Come on, it's not that bad. Pay attention. She is ruthless, but she tells the truth. Thank you, Salt as well. Credit unions are best for cars, and they have mortgage programs and no mortgage insurance. Listen, I've seen last recession. I was in a military town. I went to go. There were credit unions with cars lined up around the back parts, just cars everywhere. Now, you know the credit union is the last person wants your car. They trying to get you to keep your car. They trying so hard. They're like, please, just make a few dollars. Just do $100. Just do $20. Keep your car. They don't want it. Because usually the credit union has the lowest payments you're going to get. I remember I had a car with the credit union after college, and it was a $177 payment. I remember I missed my payment. She was like, do you want us just to take this out your savings account? You got money in your savings. I started laughing. I was like, yes, ma'am. I'm so sorry. Take it out my savings. My bad. Like, you ain't going to get lower prices than the credit union. You just not. So I'm over here feeling proud for my 3.25 mortgage until Erica mentioned needing $20,000 in savings. Listen, Ty Davis, it ain't a joke. If your AC go out, which most people have home insurance that covers certain things, but AC is $8,000. If you got a 2-story house, that's 2 units. Most of the time. Let's say your kitchen catch on fire. Let's say a lot of stuff happens. $20,000 is like gone in the blink of an eye. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all have $20,000 worth of stuff you could sell in your house right now. Pretty sure a lot of y'all have that. CenturyLink pays a 14% dividend. That's right. That's why it's in my portfolio. And everybody be like, oh, they terrible, Eric. And I'm like, they provide a service. They're not going to be perfect. They don't have to. There's no competition. Who's out here trying to go give internet to rural Alabama? Nobody. CenturyLink. Hush. Let them do their job. And with all those China tariffs, most of CenturyLink's offices were all Chinese parts. And they were like, please, Trump, shut up. We trying to survive here. Oh, there you go. Ty Davis. Wow, so sorry to hear. I'm blessed to still have my parents. But yeah, if they needed me right now, could I take off work for 3 months to help them? Boom, there's your answer. He said nope. Bastrop is filled with speeding traps. It sure is. All right, Grenada Views. What advice would you give to Black men working in construction around mostly Hispanics? Learn Spanish. Go home every day, spend 2-3 hours learning Spanish. Because guess what? People, right now, I tell you what happened this summer in Austin. What delayed me moving in my house and other people I know moving in their house. They arrested 300 people via ICE. And it stopped production all over from Round Rock to Austin to Pflugerville to Buda to Cal to San Marcos to New Braunfels. Because those guys were doing what with trucks driving around just doing all these different jobs. So when I start driving by downtown, I start seeing a lot of Black men on construction sites. A ton of them out of nowhere. So if I were you, I'd learn Spanish. The less friction there is on a job site, the more likely you're going to be kept. Also, too, look at what some of those dudes are doing. Those dudes always have a side business outside of construction. They always have like a dually truck. They do roofing on the weekends. They always have some kind of home-based business opportunity. I've seen it. Trust me. Now, y'all give me a break. I'm standing, so. What part of Texas got land for 6K? Lots of Texas. Go on realtor.com. You can find some, baby. King K Orca ordered my planner today between Hood Estates, the Wall Street Trapper 2020 is going to be lit. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. Listen, you guys, I'm telling you, part of why, and just to give you backstory, part of why I'm taking my vacation January through April, one, I need it. Two, now I have 7 employees. Hopefully can get 2 more this week coming up. And I need the break. It just is what it is. And also, too, in my opinion, if any kind of recession kerfuffle goes down towards the end of the election time period, I would have got all my travel out while everything's rosy. I'm just saying, like, call me, a negative Nelly. But I mean, I locked in my mortgages. I locked in rental properties. I locked in trucks now. Because what happens is if you're a client now, when things get kerfuffle, because right now it's the winter time. I don't know if y'all know about trucking, but trucking slows in the winter. You have a lot of drivers who won't drive. Up north in snow, you got a lot of new drivers. Companies won't let them drive a lot. They be like, nah, you good. You have a lot of issues in transportation in the wintertime. Now, with that being said, when you're on the other side, when you're buying trucks, companies are like, please, Miss Williams, we got a truck for 35 grand. Do you want it? You can have it. You just 35 grand. We got people offering me trucks for $25,000. I'm like, what's wrong with it? They just need money. Times are slow and they need money. This happens cyclically every year with trucking business and industry. Our truckers are driving left and right. Why? Because we are connected directly to Europeans overseas, like directly. We're doing our dispatching and our services. So, again, you want to be on the right side, the proactive side, the business side, the I got money sitting aside, I can buy stuff. If someone came to you and offered to sell you a business for 20K, can you do it? I told you guys when I had the coffee shop and certain businesses were going under. 4 businesses over there were going under. The guy, there was a Middle Eastern family. They were from Egypt. And, they would have the 9 months there, 3 months gone. Well, the owner and his brother, they had their brother-in-law at the store. You guys have heard this story many times. I'm just keep on telling it. Their brother-in-law didn't really care. He's there because he's married to their sister. He's there, but he don't care. He don't clean up. He don't take good care of it. Well, guess what happened? This is at the height of Egypt having a bunch of problems. And when the brothers were going through the airport, they would not give up their laptop or cameras. They actually fought a little bit at the airport. And so they got locked up for like 3 months. And he was like, I don't really know how to run a store. I don't know how to run a deli. I don't know how to order stuff. I don't know how to do a lot of things. So when you go in the store, it'd be dirty, not clean. It was like, ugh. And he didn't care. He was just the brother-in-law who was keeping the store because he married their sister. Now, what happened? He went up and down that whole street and said, can someone buy this business for 20K? My brothers-in-laws need it in Egypt to get back home here to America. And I have to pay their mortgages and I have to pay my mortgage. I'll sell this business for 20K. Everything in the store, you can have it. Now, first of all, the store was dirty. Some of the food in there was old, but it was across from a campus and kids would walk over every day. And the Asian family beside us who owned the Chinese food store, their youngest son is like, I've got 15K. Let me go get it out of the bank. I can give you 15. Will you take 15? In the end, they negotiated him down to 12 grand, y'all. And he took it and sold the business. Now, what would happen in a case and scenario where somebody comes up to you like that, selling you everything, the cash registers, the freezers, the everything? Do you know how much it costs to put a deli together? It's close to 40, 50 grand. So imagine them being in such dire straits that they're trying to sell a store like that. You're going to see that again. There's some of that going on right now. There's a couple trying to sell a coffee and donut shop in Cedar Park, and I thought about buying it. And I was like, y'all charging too much. For y'all to walk away, y'all trying to walk away with a grip. That just ain't going to happen. So again, those times will return. You just need to be ready for it. Let's see what else. I mean, yeah, he had on Tim's, y'all, for real. I was like, you've been out of New York 10 years and you still with the Tims? I'm looking into apartments being sold as condos up north. Here, cheap and into it. Isn't there a law that everyone from New York has to have Tim's? Apparently. What are your thoughts on Beaumont, Texas? Woo, Walter. So Walter, what's funny is my personal trainer is from Beaumont. Now Beaumont, whoo, it's whoo. Beaumont just had that girl beating her kid on viral. Beaumont has like a plant there that they processing chicken plant there. Beaumont is floods a lot. Beaumont has some bad history, but it's cheap. You can get some cheap property there. Most people there are gonna work at the factory, have a consistent job. But it's Beaumont. They Google Beaumont. My personal trainer doesn't even tell people he's from Beaumont. He says he's from Houston. That's how bad it is. Just saying. Studios in Sacramento, California used to be $500 back in 2006. Woo! That's a long time. I came to Austin, Texas in like 2012, and there were $685 apartments here near downtown, and people are like, what? I'm like, yeah, it used to be $1,000 apartments right on Congress. It was amazing. Gotta own something. Mohammed said, Granada views, get themselves Hispanic men, women, marry in and assimilate. I mean, you in Texas. Y'all think I'm joking. Like, I know people clown it here, but if you go to Houston and you go to San Antonio, especially San Antonio, you'll see Hispanic men and black women all the time. And people are like, oh, Erica, she's probably just a dark-skinned Spanish. No, she is a Bonquisha, Sharkisha, Timisha. I see them. They are black ladies. They're not Hispanic black ladies. They are American from somewhere black ladies with Hispanic husbands. I told y'all when I'm in Georgetown and I go to the grocery store, every woman in there got a Hispanic man covered in paint or in construction clothes. White lady, Asian lady, Hispanic lady, black lady. They got a Hispanic husband. It ain't a joke out here, y'all. I remember I worked at Jason's Deli and the women were like, you looking for a husband? Looking for a husband? I was like, nah, man, what y'all trying to do? I don't know what y'all trying to do. I don't need no green card husband. I'm good. They're like, you don't want no husband? I'm like, no, not that kind of husband. I'm good. But trust, they be out here trying to give them men away. What's up, you in the tribe? Have to make 40,000 at least. Ty Davis, thank you. Enjoy your parents. That's exactly what I had to do. Take off work, go to another state, pay my mortgage at the same time. Ooh, Jesus. I do want to learn to speak Spanish. Listen, Granada Views, that's the number one thing. You should be driving home listening to Spanish music. You should be just practicing Spanish every day. Ty Davis, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Hit the like button, fam. Erica can't wait for the YouTube course. Yeah, you guys, I've been recording all weekend. I'm tired. Take a Spanish class. Sign up for an app. Yeah, watch Telemundo. Yep. There's this guy on YouTube that has learned different languages, watching and following foreign channels. He can speak more fluid this way rather than textbooks. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You really have to literally listen to music, listen to shows, listen to TV. I mean, it has to be like really in your mind because you're an older age. So you really have to focus on it. But if you're in a workspace where they're talking all day, you go and pick it up faster if you're trying. There's 317 of y'all here, 109 likes. Thank you so much. I see that in North Florida, people are selling like crazy. Yep. As Dan Look says, focus on high income skills. As a man in IT, 1 to 2K can get you training, labs, multiple attempts from Microsoft, Amazon Cloud, certs. One cloud cert gets brothers over 60K. Thank you, Marty. Listen, I'm telling you, that's why I bring people on talking about tech, this channel, because there is levels happening where all my tech people that I know, and people are like, how are you all these tech people you know and you're not in tech? And I'm like, just the church I go to, the association I'm in, they're all tech people. And they really cannot fathom people making less than 50K a year. Their brain look like it's about to fry. They'd be like, how? I mean, how are they gonna get married? How are they gonna get a car? Like, they'd be so shocked every time I say it. Minimalism about to go buck wild. It's already there. It's already there. You know, this whole van life, I'm homeless with a camera life, I'm homeless at my parents' life. Like, I was at What do you call that burrito place? Not Chipotle. Freebirds here in Texas. It's called Freebirds. And the guy in the line was like, oh yeah, they were complaining about rent. And he's like, oh, I have to pay my parents' rent, but I live with my parents. And they were like, oh, you're lucky. These grown ass people on the line working at Freebirds talking about you lucky because you live at home with your parents. Y'all, it ain't that bad out here. It ain't that bad. I'm telling you right now, when I got these mattresses delivered to my apartment, the Hispanic men delivering the mattress are like, you live here by yourself? You got 2 bedrooms? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I said, no, man. No kids? No kids? No kids? No, you don't want no man? No family? I mean, these people be trying to hook you up. So listen, y'all be worried about these single men out here. If you a single woman, they trying to find you somebody to come live with you. They really do that, y'all. They do that out here. I think y'all think I'm joking. Oklahoma City has a lot of Hispanics. Yep, I bet it. Thank you, Jamar, for sharing the planner. Read that last week, $200 a month. Yes, Velvet Rose, and that's my thing. People who live in Detroit, been living there years, still renting, don't own nothing. Now, one of the guys I'm trying to buy one of our properties for our investment group, he running around buying quick claim deeds, houses, but he done got messed up on his taxes, so he's trying to move family members into different properties, and they just break him off $300, $400 here and there. He's trying, but he's not doing it the right way. He owns like 9 houses. I'm like, dude, come on, quit tripping. Give me this house. Trill, what's up? Andre Hatchett. Buy, biz, sell. Thank you. Empire Flippers is the online site. Y'all think I'm joking. You can buy people's blogs. You can buy people's businesses. People be selling. Erica, folks should know how these Dan Pena minions are buying these old folks retiring businesses at seller financing and reselling at $300,000 the cost in group roll-ups. Thank you. Tell it. Like, people don't believe me. I be in here. I done spent like 80 grand almost this year, 75,000 this year at least, in courses and conferences and events and Facebook groups. And I'm telling you, the person, man or woman, who has 20 to 100K and has discipline, keyword discipline, can go buy a shop. There was a guy in the group who was black who bought a tanning salon, y'all. What he know about tanning? Nothing. Okay? There's a restaurant right here in Austin, Texas right now, near Round Rock. It is a Korean-based restaurant. Now, if you know anything about Koreans, I ain't trying to say this is a racial thing, but I come from a military town. They will sell to each other first and talk to the people in the association, other Asian associations, before they will sell to outsiders. There is literally a Korean-themed restaurant for sale on this site. And I said, this must be a misprint. Like, they're selling a Korean wing place to outsiders? It must not be doing good. I was like, oh, I don't want to buy it. It must be doing bad. But again, the opportunity's there. You can be a regular old person, buy a Korean themed place. Okay? All the books, all the restaurants, all the staff. I plan on building up my business. It's like a plan to build a portfolio. Just need 1 or 2 at a time. And networking event December 4th. Congratulations. The money gun, yeah. Thank you, Nicole Pritchard, for the $5 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate it. Big Bandit 2. If people think Erica's info is ruthless, I'm sorry, people are soft. See, this is what I learned. I learned this over the years that black people are like, you're harsh to black people. You're so harsh, Erica. Nobody is as harsh as life. And I come out of a military family, military mom, military dad, military uncles, military cousins, everybody's military, we move around. You do or you don't do. You have short-term goals, you have long-term goals. Did you complete the task? I mean, I just live that way. And we have a lot of boy cousins. And when people talk to me, I'm like, what did y'all parents do? Did they make y'all make a bed? Did you wash a dish? Did you have chores? Did you ever have a job? Like, if what I'm saying is harsh, oh my God, you're a softie. Like, social justice warrior, when they make that joke about that, I laugh, but I'm like, I don't think these people exist till I started getting on YouTube and talking. They're like, you so mean, Erica. You so mean. I'm mean? I thought I was being nice. Damn. Y'all got some grandmas raised y'all, and grandmas used to be tough. Grandmas used to whoop you. Y'all got some softy grandmas. Because it can't be your mama who raised you, because your mama would have whooped you. Some of y'all is just soft. I mean, right now I was at an event with Asia Selden out of Philadelphia, and that's what she said. She said, y'all are soft. Who are these soft adults? And I started laughing, but it's the truth. I'm for real. I don't know how y'all make it in this world. How do y'all go to work? People talk to you sideways. What do? You just quit? I don't know. Who pays 14% dividend? CenturyLink. You can get a car from a credit union. You can get cars from credit union. You get home mortgages. The best thing you can do, J5, is get your credit via a credit union. Do not just be out here letting the car dealership run your credit like you stupid. You know better than that. Go to a credit union. You get that nice 6% interest on a car. Every time I talk to somebody and tell me they got 17% interest on the car, I said, what you do? You went to the dealership and just let them run your credit raggedy. Don't do it. You can go to any part of Asia and you'll find kids running around half dressed on drugs around 3 or 4 years old. They don't talk about that or are embarrassed to talk about it. That's true, Mr. Sway. Our blanks. Well, see, here's the thing in Austin. The thing in Austin, it wasn't they were hiring blacks after men got deported. I would see black men on the highways. I'd see them in different projects, different parts of the city. It just started being more visible this summer, though. I was like, Donald Trump really giving y'all some jobs out here. Ooh, Lord. 300 strong in the live. That's what's up. Anthony Bass, thank you for the $20 super chat. You're always on point. Thank you, Eric. What? Erica, right? My brother's Eric. These companies sound like crackheads. Come on, baby, buy this truck out here. They do. They be like, Miss Williams, what can we do to extend the business? What can we do to give you a line of credit? What can we do, Miss Williams? I'd be like, I don't know. Maybe you have to give me some government contracts or something. Give me some more money. About time to take your vacations, Williams. Listen, y'all know I'm doing the countdown to my vacation, baby. I'm so ready. I don't even know. For 20K, Jesus, I'm telling you. Thank you, Jamar, posting the links. There will be Sherry, the business plan writer. See, Sherry, listen, y'all, see, let me read that again. Sherry, the business plan writer. That is how your YouTube channel should be. If you comment on someone else's channel, they're going to be like, who is this commenting? Sherry, the business plan writer. See how that works? That's how you're supposed to do that. But we'll talk about that in the course. There will be a lot of cash flowing businesses for sale next decade. Between politics and people getting older, wanting to sell, lots of opportunities. That's right. Be nice about Beaumont. Yeah, my trainer going to get me probably. I don't know what that is, so put you away. I've seen a lot of black women with Latino guys in North Dallas. Listen, is that man paying bills? Is he effective? Does he treat you nice? Give him a chance, y'all. Give the man a chance. That's what my grandpa would say. Give the man a chance. Next time you see him, say, go girl. You don't even need it. When you're in the grocery store in Georgetown, there's so many of them. What you going to say go girl for? You be saying go girl all day. You're like, I saw this little Hispanic boy run by, and I saw that hair. I said, oh, you half black. And I saw his mom around the corner. I said, oh, there we go. That's what I thought. Would you suggest if someone has $20,000 in savings to be ready to invest when the recession hits, or make it work now? I say make it work now. You can go on Biz Buy Quest, Biz Buy Sell, BizQuest, Empire Flippers, and find businesses and companies now. For those of you in the YouTube course, the whole point I'm trying to show you is it's all systems. Like, it's systems for the VAs, it's ways and apps you can share where they never see your password, but they can come into your LinkedIn, your Facebook, your Instagram, do the work for you, do all the messaging for you. You don't have to do a thing. See, y'all know it's me messaging you right now, some of these apps, because I be snapping off on some of y'all. I'll be like, if you don't get up out of here talking crazy to me, I'm not your mama. Don't do it. But in January, it probably won't be me. It'll probably be somebody else answering. Yeah. Probably in December if I'm lucky. My son married his high school sweetheart. She's Mexican. There you go. Love is beautiful. I bet Beaumont ain't worse than Flint, Michigan. I'm not going to comment. I don't know. I haven't been to Flint, Michigan. Definitely buying business funding course as soon as I can. Taking care of parents 9 years. Listen, people really don't understand that. They don't understand. Sometimes you have a generation of people who are about to be squeezed. Their parents are not taking good care of themselves. They teenage kids ain't got no plan to go to college, or they go to college and get a bunch of debt. You see right now, if you guys noticed the past week, I've been commenting on all these videos where these girls are like, have 200,000 in debt, 150,000 in debt, 100,000 in debt, 70,000 in debt, and I'm paying it off. I'm like, because ain't nobody else going to. You better get to paying it off, girl, because ain't nobody else coming. You should got married at college to the nerdiest man you could have found. The nerdiest that was going somewhere. Because now it's just, you out here now, girl. You out here. You got to pay that off. I'm sorry. I'm cutting up today. I'm from Chicago, but I've been living in Los Angeles the past 5 years. Being bilingual is so crucial. Yeah, listen. And so here's a big conflict in Texas, which you guys don't understand. Here in Texas, you have a lot of second, third generation Mexicans and El Salvadorians who don't speak Spanish. And they don't want to speak Spanish. They are very much, I'm a Tex-Mexican, or I'm a Texan. Don't call me Mexican. Like, they will get mad with you. And I remember working at a place, and this poor girl was working in the front, and people just start speaking Spanish to her. And even though she was Mexican, she could not speak Spanish. And she would be ill with them. She'd be like, speak English. And if they didn't, she'd go get the assistant manager, and then she would speak Spanish to them. And the assistant manager in her face was like, it's such a shame your parents didn't raise you better to know Spanish. Like, in her face in the front office. I was like, oh my God, they're going to slap each other. It's like a telenovela. But it was like, what can you do? You have a generation of people in Texas who do not speak Spanish. When I worked at Lowe's and I was a manager, people would come up, and if you didn't speak Spanish to them, they'd be like, oh, I need Spanish. I need Spanish. They give you the hand. You'd be like, okay, watch yourself before I correct you. So then I would walk over to Jorge, but he liked to be called George. And I'd be like, George, you know, these people, they can't speak English. He's like, okay. So he'd get over there. He starts speaking Spanish, then he says something in English, a bunch of stuff in English. And if they responded in English, he'd never speak Spanish again. He'd finish the whole conversation in English. He'd be like, they know English, they just don't want to speak it. I don't have time for this. He'd get pissed. And he's like, it's not fair to other people who do come to America and learn English. And I was like, okay, George. I remember one dude called him Jorge because it was on his name tag before he changed it. And he had a stank attitude that day. He was not playing that. Don't call him Jorge. Call him George. Yeah, I heard about San Antonio. La Judah told me to move there a few years ago if I want a Latin flavor more. Not trying to get that ring though. Listen, M-Sway, ask Nick Taylor. Nick Taylor lived in San Antonio when it was black. San Antonio is Hispanic now. They have lost the Alamo. It is gone. I missed the information on your YouTube program. YouTube program, go click the link. It's in the description. The YouTube course is for people who already got a channel, haven't started their channel. You're trying to get more leads. You're trying to get your SEO up. You're trying to make $1 million. You're trying to go speak on stages. You're trying to travel the world. You can freaking do it via YouTube channel, and you don't have to have millions of views. Because trust me, people with a bunch of views are calling me to help them monetize their channels. Okay? You got people who've literally, I mean, there's so many things. For those of you who don't know, the YouTube course, essentially, this is my last course for the year. It's going to have a private Facebook group on Wednesdays. The only way you can get the link is when you're going to be in the private Facebook group and when you're in the course. On Wednesdays, we're going to have 1 hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours where I'm going to be going through it. You have to start a YouTube channel while you're in the course, or you have to set up some SEO stuff while you're in the course. You're going to set up some MailChimp type stuff while you're in the course. Like, all these things will be done because on February 19th, the week before Mardi Gras, and if I have to, the week of Mardi Gras, that's going to be the last day. But we're doing 12 weeks of those calls. Your girl going to be at Mardi Gras. Your girl ain't going to hear anybody. The only people that are going to be working with next year is the YouTube Mastery Group. Everybody else, you're getting VAs and assistance response. Because I'm going to be on vacation. I'm telling you right now, December, Las Vegas, San Diego, North Carolina, come back to Texas. Going to be in Tokyo in January, Tokyo, South Korea, Thailand. Then next month after that, Bali. Then we're going to be snowing. We're going to be snowboarding. Come back to America snowboarding. Then Las Vegas for Grant Cardone's 10X. Then Antigua, my birthday. Month after that, nope, scoot over. Month after that, Italy, Greece, Montenegro. We're gone. So this is your best bet if you're trying to get how to run a business, how to get it set up, how to get VAs, how to get people responding. Again, this board earlier had all kind of notes on it. The average person on YouTube gets 50 to 3,000 hits a day. Conversation point pieces. Imagine if 50 to 3,000 people a day hit you up into your funnel, getting you business For those of you who have service business, roof business, sales businesses, this is how you do it. SEO, video. You can be in your little town making a video on your products and your services and get lots of traction. That is the YouTube course. It ain't a YouTube course if you want to have your boobies out and jumping on the trampoline. It ain't a YouTube course if you're out here trying to be naked on the ground. It's not that kind of YouTube course. It's not the YouTube course for you getting hookups and taking trips to Dubai. You dig what I'm saying? I ain't trying to say it, but I just said it. It's not that type of YouTube course. It's a YouTube course if you really want to treat this like a business and a career and actually make money. There are already people, we're already in the second phase of YouTube. We had the first phase where you done had people be on here 8, 9, 10 years, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, bounce out, take their money and go home. There's been whole interracial families and couples and Christian couples who done got Walmart channels, Walmart commercials, progressive commercials, took their little money, started investing and was like, oh, we don't want to do YouTube no more. Our children are 8 and 9 and we don't feel like filming no more. Okay? There's a lot of opportunity here. Why do you think the FTC is trying to come over here? Because the millions of dollars being made, it's a big old target. My mom learned English by watching all my children's soaps. Hey, there you go. Just found a few properties on Zillow. Look good as I don't know what. I said realtor.com. I didn't say Zillow. Do not watch The Watchmen. I can't. They gonna hook her for, listen, they've been trying to hook me up since I moved here. It's crazy. Detroit, Chicago, New York has nothing but black generational renters and don't want nothing else. Sway, unfortunately, that's the truth. Like, I'm meeting people nonstop who've been living somewhere 30, 40 years and they just rent and they don't know no different. So when they come down here, guess what they do? They rent again. Okay, somebody's got to be a good landlord. Lord, yes, a woman with a good income, a house of her own, a car of her own. You're like a unicorn. I know I was one. Then my husband said the marriage trap. Listen, I would be going on dates with some dudes. They'd be like, just whatever you want to do. Just you tell me. People be out here with no plan, no places to go, nothing to do. I remember telling this guy I was going to banquets and galas, and he was like, "It's like, are you rich? Like, you got a lot of money?" I was like, "Nah." I try to play it down, like, "No, I got no money." But people just, they literally go to work and come home and watch TV and veg out and watch ESPN until it loops over again. I remember I had to break up with this dude because he was watching ESPN all day, and then when it looped, he watched it again. I was like, I can't. You a zombie. I can't do this. Consumerism at its finest, buying things we need or desire isn't the issue. It's companies selling poor quality Alice, no. I check out Empire Flipper's site today, and I was surprised at some of those businesses qualify for SBA loans because they're real businesses. Again, when you take the funding course, for those of you who in here who took the funding course, you can get money if you can just show you have a legit business. You can get money. And people here who know that, who took the funding course. Exactly. Buy and sell from their first people. Exactly. Caribbean people clown black people for being lazy. Exactly. I'm telling you, people come here and they go, what are y'all doing? You don't get credit like this outside of America, y'all. And you don't get a lot of opportunities. People are like, oh, racism is so terrible. You can go around most things. I promise you. You aren't harsh. You're just giving facts. There you go. Listen, Jabrash, I signed up for the music royalty site you mentioned. I get emails about royalties from big name artists available. Paying someone serious money. Yeah. Again, Willie Nelson, all these people that had they done sold their name and their records, and they sitting there needing a check, needing help. This stuff happens all over the place. It has never been very fair for artists with record companies. So yeah. They grandmas is soft. They grandmas is soft, man. Speaking of putting stuff together, I need to go put some rice and beans together for dinner. Do it. My credit union is offering 4% loans on cars right now. A car dealership will wreck your credit. They will ruin it like crazy. Yeah, people do it every year. Not every year, every couple of years. Softness is in food and soda. I believe, oh yeah, I mean, I would love to do a holistic channel about food and stuff, but you know, I ain't trying to go missing, okay? The government be making people go missing. I ain't trying to talk about it. This upcoming recession sounds like an opportunity if you're ready. It can be. For those of you who are going to be proactive, for those of you who want to buy businesses and buy homes, again, you're going to have people, listen, I told y'all what happens here in Austin. Prices will go down, and people who are on the edge of town that want to move in do what? They move in closer every time it inches up. So it never seems like the price went down. Well, the price went down in certain areas, but people were ready. They were ready. So you're going to have people in this economy who are like this. You got 18, 15, 17-year-old people who are ready. They starting Shopify stores, starting blogs, doing YouTube channels. There's a girl dropped out of high school at 16, Asian girl. I'm trying to think of her name. Her dad realized how well she was doing and started helping her. They got 3 businesses now. She's 18. I think she's 19 now. Literally dropped out of school at 16. These kids are on it. If you guys make sure little Jerome is getting tutored and on it, you're talking about a different kid at 15, 16. There's an article I shared where the boy is 12 years old and made $100,000 trading in the stock market. Someone taught him at 10 and now he's at 12, traded 100,000. Again, if you're on it, if you're 40, 50, 60 and you're on it, your life can be amazing in a year or two. For those of you who are asleep, this is harsh. This is negative. This is me picking on people. Oh, why you don't need 100,000. Do you know how many comments we get in here where people saying, you don't need 100,000, Erica, to live? You don't need that. You can get by on 40. Why you keep talking about that? These are people trying to explain not doing better in life. That's just all there is to it. Can you survive on 40,000? You sure can. You can survive. It all depends on your definition of what thriving is. Any tips for networking? I'm still trying to get the hang of it. Again, you know, if you're introvert, and people claim they're introverts all the time, and really a lot of them just have bad social skills. And that's just the truth. The thing of it is you need to, if you can't take talking to people in person, I would start yourself off in these Facebook groups. I'd talk up, I'd write down 30 things I was interested in Facebook group wise and go find those groups, communicate in big circles, say anybody in this city, right? Ganja, if you're in Orlando, Florida, I don't know where you are, but it'll be like, I'm in Orlando, Florida. I'm looking to invest in real estate. I'm here to learn what can I partner with. I'd love to meet one-on-one or 2 or 3-on-3 for lunch. I mean, people respond to that all the time. I see that every day in Facebook groups where people be like, oh, I'm in Dallas. Let's go meet for lunch. And 6 people show up and they meet for lunch. I'm in this place. Let's go meet for this. The number one way you're going to get ahead in America and in life is relationships. So you figure out what you got to do. If you're an introvert and you don't like big conferences and you don't like talking to people and you don't like small talk and you tired after talking to 2 people, you need to be on this internet and you need to set it up so that you can have lunches and dinners with people on small settings. 2, 3 people, 4, 5 people at a time. That's what you got to do. And honestly, like, I understand now that I've gone this far in business where people will literally make their life where they don't interact with people who are not like them. They don't. They only interact with other business owners who are on a certain level, who shop at a certain store, who travel. I mean, there's people right now, I've gotten invites for 4 or 5 different groups to go snowboarding New Year's Eve as groups. And this ain't no singles girls trip. I know, you know, the Manosphere makes fun of people's girls trips. These are business owners. Come, let's talk about business, what we're going to do in 2020. These aren't just girls trips. Yeah. Like, no, these are serious people. And so that's why I laugh when I hear that stuff, because I'm like, that's the prime example of somebody trying to downplay someone's networking. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm just doing the whiteboard before I can finish out the class, finish out some of the courses. Yeah, they should have got married at college. People act like I'm saying something uncrazy. You know, when you were 20 and you would have married some knucklehead and been like, we're going to make it work. We're going to work together and get things done. Now at 35 or 32 or 34 or 37 or 38 or 40, you like, if you don't get your life together before you come talk to me. Y'all know that's true. Don't act like I made that up. Exactly. Kevin didn't lie. Kevin Samuels did not lie. You's not gonna get your money paid off like that. I'm just having a good time. I'm standing. This camera's wobbling. I'm trying to tighten it up. It don't want to act right. Apple Mac, that did happen, unfortunately. But you had that happen in the area where you had like white Mexicans. I guess where they're like Spanish looking white people. Apple Mac said, I saw a documentary in some Texas school where they forbid Mexican kids from speaking Spanish and would beat them if they did. I mean, you have some of that, but you have some people's families like trying to get them to get a better America, get more opportunity. Amanda, I'm just cutting up. Art blanks. I'm doing consults till December, and then I think I'm gonna tell them to take it off the websites or just raise the price till it's so crazy that nobody will buy it. That's probably what's gonna happen. We're gonna make it like $10,000. Don't call me, kind of thing. Filling up them passport stamps. Yeah, I want to hit 200K by 2020, so I need your help for sure. I got approved for $250,000 to use towards trucks and trailers just because I successfully ran my first truck the last 2 years. I told them no because I'm trying to do what they're. I told them no because of trying to do what they're doing next year. Let me say that again. Mr. Diaz said, I got approved for $250,000 to use towards trucks and trailers just because I ran my one successful truck the last 2 years. I told them no because I'm trying to do what they're doing next year. What is that? Like getting ready for the recession? Getting ready to invest? Someone just getting started in life and doing self-improvement, I guess, in the learning process, developing entrepreneurial lifestyle. How do you stay patient? Put your head down. Mind your business. Stay in your lane. I know that sounds crazy, but I would watch people and be like, I want to travel. I want to do that. And then I would come to my computer and I would spend the next 2-3 hours just getting work done. And now at this point, which is like really 4 years later, dude, I say 6 years, but it's really 4 years later from like no job to like here, I can go do whatever I want. I can go walk away from this right now and go live crazy. But that's the thing. You could have a leap year. And what is a leap year? Leap year is like, you saw what I did some of this stuff this year where I was going to conferences every month. I was flying, I was traveling. Everything that you think to turn it up is relationship based and funding based. If you can get your business, that 1 or 2 year mark in your business, if you can get the system straight and the marketing straight and a flow where it's just like pumping water, it's like pumping money, you know, that's your main focus, is getting it so it's consistent. That's why when in the YouTube channel course, we're going to talk about ads, but I'm going to really talk to them again. Like if you don't got the first part right, you're going to run ads and mess up your algorithm. Okay. You can run Google AdWords like on just a landing page and fill that bad boy up, a long landing page with a video underneath, and make 15K a month. I've seen it, but you have to have your systems in place. No, he said, Ollie Brooks said, after my parents divorced, my dad went right back to the apartment complex he met my mom 30 years ago and still renting. You trying to give me anxiety today. I can't do it. That stationary lifestyle. Recall LL telling Mike Tyson in their sit down talk that there's some people that really live like that. Yeah. There's some people who really live like that and then don't understand why the economy's change or things are bad financially. And my thing is stay away from those people. Those people are asleep. You know, the men folk, and it's not like they don't exist. I've been around men folk who are out here getting it, working their butt off, just adding one little thing a year. I promise you, Money Madu and all these guys, when they bought one rental and they were taking pictures of it, they were so proud. Women were in the DMs, like aggressive. Can I meet you? Can I talk to you? Can I go to lunch with you? Can I go to dinner with you? Can I talk with you about your rental? Honey, that's a setup. That girl plotting. There's a guy right now I know who's a millionaire, and one girl got him. She got a baby, and I said, yep, she got you. She knew, she went looking for you, and you fell for it. and she got you. Now, I'm not saying that's everybody, but there are folks who, there's some folks to be out here inappropriate. Listen, I've had men send me a copy of their credit score and their bank statement. Like, what's up, Eric? And I'm like, hey, this ain't that kind of party. That's not how I want you to talk to me, sir. But people be out here like that. Where do you get these articles from? I love to read. So Philippians 4:8. Let me tell you this. Look at your phone, your Google phone. Do you have Android or do you have an iPhone? When you start Googling stuff in your phone will feed you more. So Business Insider, CNBC, Fox Business, Yahoo Finance. If you're Googling those things, you will get those things. Let me tell you, I had a person show me their phone. And I know what they Google because their first page of stuff coming up on their phone was World Star, Popeye's Chicken articles about silly stuff. And that's what I knew they were Googling, because Google's only going to give you more of what you're already searching for. Make sense? So when I'm always searching and reading all day CNBC articles, that's all that pops up in my timeline. That's all that pops up in my feed. That's all I spend hours in the morning doing. 2 to 3 hours in the morning reading and observing trends. And I don't think if y'all remember this when I was talking about RV sales. The reason RV sales are such a predictor of the economy, because RVs are the absolute example of, I don't need this. This is a luxury item. But right now, what do we have happening in America? What do we have happening in RVs and vans? Van life. We have a bunch of people out here living in RVs and living in vans. Not luxury spending, but like living there, because this is what they can do. And so they're indicators of the economy when they go down and when they go up. But you wouldn't know that if you weren't keeping up with RV sales and reading articles on RV sales. Again, my whole life is business and marketing and sales and finance. And so I spend early hours in the morning, early hours in the afternoon reading. And so when I Google or I open up my phone and it shows me my timeline, or Google recommends articles to me, it's always business related. So whatever you Google, it will give you more. If you learn this on Facebook, if you're in Facebook looking at World Star, police shootings, things that are very like emotionally charged, Facebook will send more of it to you in the algorithm. Now, if you're on Facebook and Facebook groups, Facebook business groups, you're going to see when you do that, you'll see like more notifications from those groups. And so that's what I do. When I go on Facebook, I don't comment anymore on police stuff, because I don't want more of it in my algorithm. So what I do is I start sharing CNBC Insider, Fox Business, The Profit, small business stuff, articles on small business, and it immediately changes what I'm starting to see in my timeline. It's always business related. If I go and spend like the whole day, and you'll learn about it in a YouTube course, commenting on a certain technique inside these business Facebook groups, it just brings more traffic, more DMs. People try to DM me like, hey, can I talk? Oh, you can get a consult. Can't talk to me, but you can get a consult. Go over to my YouTube channel. Go check my YouTube channel out. So again, it's all algorithm based. That's how I find these articles. Again, CNBC Insider, a lot of white pages. There's a lot of places you can find these articles, but I know y'all be like, can you quote the article for me? No, you can Google. It's not my job. Like, you know what I mean? If you want me to teach you a whole thing and give you all the links and teach you everywhere it came from, y'all gonna have to start paying some money for that. That's not a free video. That's an education. That's all I'm saying. So, abundance mindset. I'm going for that middle class 135. Yeah, again, when companies are doing market research and they're telling you it's 135, it's 135. Trust me, they spend billions of dollars marketing to you a year, that they're going to spend millions on surveys and educating and finding numbers. One day I'll go golf with you, but I'm too old to snowboard. Yeah, it's the knees and the butt. You're gonna fall on the knees and the butt. But yeah, if anybody wants to go golfing, I'm always open to it. Marcel, if you see us on Tuesday, usually I have stock Tuesdays. I'll bring on Terry and a couple other people in the future I'm going to bring on talking about stocks. Again, if you're trading stocks, that's mad money. If you're just trying to invest in stocks or you're trying to be a dividend investor, dividend investing stocks and getting big returns dividends is a strategy for when you have money. Let's just be really honest. If you're the fire movement people or you're a person making $135,000 a year and you got $35,000, you want to chuck it into dividend stocks, perfect. But if you know, like I know, if I was making $130K a year with or without my spouse or something like to that effect, I would be like, honey, we're going to take this $20K and we're going to buy one rental a year every year for 10 years. 10 years, honey. We're not gonna do this other mess. Oh, you want to create passive income through leasing. Yeah, I gotcha. I work in entertainment and get hired at galas and events full of rich business people. The recording industry is crazy. A lot of broke artists out here. Oh, for sure. Let me tell you, there's a whole guy on YouTube right now. He's running ads talking about how to make money event planning. It's a big thing because you have twofold. You have business people throwing events left and right for connections and relationships. And then you have a lot of poor people who just like want to party and looking for the next event. Right now, I really want to teach a little PDF or a course on if you move to a new city, go on Eventbrite and schedule your whole month out. I really want to. I might just make it a free video, but it's just literally, I went on Eventbrite this weekend, y'all, and I found out about a Black woman, a business conference that's been here, going here for 6 years, just today off Eventbrite. I was like, oh my God, I missed the whole conference. I didn't even know it was here. And it'd be a room full of women, it'd be like 300, 400 women. Thoughts on making debt payments when the recession comes? Metamorphosis, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have people be reactive. They're going to panic sell, downsize, wholesale, sell businesses. But I want them to be reactive. I want them to buy businesses, get their debt that's over 7% paid down, get higher income jobs, because that's where the survival mode is going to be for some people. And let's be honest, it's going to be for 90% of people. 90% of people are okay with a job. Now, this is what I told y'all, and I really believe this. If you look at the book Upside, it talks about more people moving into one house, right? Again, when I told you I looked at those houses and there's 4 or 5 cars parked out front, they're house hacking, their families there. My neighbors, they're gonna be my brand new neighbors. They're Indian, and their sister lives with them because she's anticipating the brother and the wife having a baby and her being there to babysit because they both work. Okay, so trust me, like people are living together, and he's a doctor, so but even so, living together. And what you're going to see is you're going to see marriage go back up. I know Manosphere and MGTOW and all these people are telling you this, but I'm telling you with my own eyes, they're going off of 2000 census data. That's 18 years old. That's 18 years old. Census data from 2000 is 18 years old. They quote it all the time. I keep showing you and quoting 2010 census data. I'm like, they're quoting you old data. And what happens is people get older. These men folk that are 40, 45, 50, 60, they're going to get tired. They're going to get older. Somebody's going to move in with them, or they're going to have a special friend, or they're going to get married. For the benefits, for the health insurance. Again, when I go to these conferences and they're talking about cutting back on healthcare costs, who are really expensive in healthcare costs? Women in businesses. Dale just put this thing out for 2020. They expect to have half their force be women, 25% of their force be African Americans and Hispanics. And you're like, Dale, y'all got 7 buildings over there and 2 of them are empty. What are you talking about? Okay? And my friends laugh and say, well, they're going to pay them less anyway because they know that's what they're going to do. But you're going to have a lot of women exit the workforce because of daycare costs. Stay home with your baby. You had to stay home with it kind of conversations. We can't afford for you to be out of the house. It makes no sense if you make $3,000 a month and after taxes you're gonna make about $2,500, maybe $2,200. For you to put a kid in daycare, it's gonna cost you $2,000 a month. That don't make no sense. That's a bad party, y'all. That's just math. Again, last recession, the average person that lost their home, they were short $500 a month. Dave Ramsey's #1 call he gets is about car payments and minivan payments, where the wife wants to keep the minivan and the husband's like, you stay home all day. Why? I mean, there's a lot of ways I can take this, but I'm gonna be good. Listen, Nina, I can forward them to you, baby. One was in Florida, one was in Georgia, one was in Tennessee. I was like, y'all out here doing the most. I'll forward them to you. Google News, Yahoo Finance are good resources. Thank you, Raphael. These young girls need to hear this version of sex, text, and credit scores to see who they're in bed with. I'm telling you, Amanda P, I was like, okay, now, sir, I see you with your 800 credit score, but that is not the kind of woman I am. You get out of here, sir. See, and I donated to the American Japanese Association a while back. Now I'm always invited to Japanese business galas. I've met the CEO of many Japanese companies through that. Listen, my father was born in Japan, and there is a Asian American Business Association here, and I've actually gone to most of their events here in Austin. Trust and believe. It is about green, green, green. If you have green, they want to work with you. I probably should erase my Google history search. Jamie, I ain't going to question that. I don't know where that's going to go. That's why I get nothing but code and blockchain. Exactly, Jay Green. I have a friend to keep sending me WorldStar. Don't click on it, Lucy. There's an abundance of RVs and towaway trailers in the market right now. How do you think that will impact housing market and economy? So the housing market right now depends on the city. It's region by region, it's state by state. You know, you go into places in Ohio and Detroit and Michigan where you get houses for pennies on the dollar, but they need repair. You're going to places like Tulsa, Oklahoma, where they're paying you $10,000 to move there. Places in Connecticut paying you $10,000 to move there. Vermont paying you $10,000 to please move here, in hopes that you'll move there and get so comfortable you won't move again. That's the point. Okay, so again, you have this surplus of RVs, but people don't want to stay in an RV when it's cold. Even if they plug up to an RV park where they have internet and a generator and heat, they want to be in a house. I can tell you right now, I think I could do this a video where I drive in my car around Pflugerville and Round Rock and show you all the houses that brand new, big old houses, brand new, got RVs parked out front. Brand new. That meant that person stayed in the RV at least 1 to 6 months before that house was built. I promise you, I could do a whole video driving around Pflugerville and Round Rock. Probably need to do a speed up camera where it like speeds it up, but I could do it. Erica, how do you feel about paying off student loans before buying businesses and properties? Depends. What's the interest rate on it? I mean, you really could knock out student loans in 2 years if you really want to. And you go look at all these videos. I'm looking at all these videos and commenting under these girls' videos because most of them pay it off in 2 years. Most. There's a girl with $200,000 in credit card debt, paid it off in 13 months. And she just does filming and stuff in California. And she realized this $200K is ridiculous. And her dog almost died. Her boyfriend paid for the surgery. And she said that's what made her want to pay her debt off. When if her dog would have died if it wasn't for her boyfriend paying for the surgery. Okay, y'all, it gets real. It gets real, real fast. I just purchased Kamoy's class when you bring her back. When Kamoy come on my channel, Kamoy be at conferences, y'all. Kamoy just showed, if you look at Kamoy's Instagram, she was at Google. Google was her and all these events. She be busy lady too now. Big Big's Bandit. It's in the description, and they've been sharing it up and down the links for the YouTube course, for the planner, for all this stuff. Yep, I have witnessed 3 generations of Indians in one home is very common. Uncles, aunts, cousins. Yeah, I made a joke that I was talking to my neighbor, and I was like, I'm gonna be that person that parks my Jeep in front of my house and my car in my driveway, just so they don't park in front of my house all the time. Because I know it's going to be more than just the sister. I'm not stupid. I know they got a grandma, grandpa, uncle, somebody coming else to live there. I've seen it. And I'm going to be like, don't park in front of my house. I don't want to be a jerk, but don't be parking in front of my house, okay? I'm trying to film my YouTube videos. You blocking my view. Most of my male friends are married and plan on getting married too. I won't be like the guy that was found dead after 3 years. Oh, your breath. It's sad, but that's just a community. That's a lack of community. Even if you don't want to get married, there should be community around you. There should be somebody who's like, I haven't heard from Jabras in a month. something ain't right. I'm gonna go by his house. I'm gonna knock on his door. I'm gonna call his cell phone. I'm gonna do something. Something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I used to say all the time, Dave Ramsey to you and Robert Kiyosaki. One rental a year for 10 years. Yep. I'm sorry, but I would have been I Am Legend with that dog. Listen, even a dog would have been better, y'all, because a dog would have barked and scratched and barked all night long or something. Yep, get a house for little or nothing, but Erica's right. The repairs on these antique houses is doing too much. Listen, I'm telling you, back in the day, you know, our grandparents, you gotta realize this is the thing with houses. And we're going on a minute, hour and 30 minutes, so I gotta wrap this up. You had men who were married who worked on the house all the time. Well, then in the 70s and 80s, you had a generation of men who didn't work on the house. Then you had the 1990s and 2000s, people running in, stealing stuff out of your house, copper, all this other stuff. So you have houses that are in a disrepair, but if it was always a husband and wife there and a husband was doing repairs, it wouldn't be that bad. So you have areas and pockets that are real bad because of that. Okay, you guys, so this is your girl, Erica. Thank you for being here. Again, we can be proactive by updating our resumes, getting LinkedIn updated, higher paying jobs, associations, network, conferences, tribe building, or you can be reactive, which is panic selling, downselling, wholesaling, selling off everything because you're in a panic. You rather be proactive. But if you're going to react to people, you're going to be able to buy businesses for nothing. So thank you guys so much. Love you guys. Have a great night. 165 likes. Thank you. It's your girl Erica signing off.